The Entertainment Press. The Entertainment Press is an entertainment blog. This article is titled, Valerie Brown, the background singer that made history, and was published on Wednesday, July 26, 2023. This video is an audio version of that article. It reads, Valerie Brown, whether you know it or not, is indeed an icon. Regardless of not being her group's lead singer, while on background vocals she became a breakout star and an important part of breaking down barriers and making history. Ultimately paving the way for Black people, Black women and women in general that followed her. She's not just an icon among animated cartoons like herself but an icon amongst real-world fleshly icons as well. When it comes to a list of Black cartoon characters to be, first, at achieving a certain feat, Valerie is alongside greats like T'Challa, known as Black Panther, who was the first Black superhero in Marvel Comics, and John Stewart, also known as Green Lantern, who was the first Black superhero in the DC Comics. On the flip side, when it comes to a list of Black people or Black women in general to be, first, at achieving a feat, Valerie is alongside greats like Diane Carroll, who was the first Black woman in an American television series to portray a non-stereotypical role with her show, Julia. Valerie originally appeared in the Josie and the Pussycats comic book series created by Dan DeCarlo, as Valerie Smith, from 1968-1982. She premiered in Josie and the Pussycats number 45 in December 1968, and first premiered on the cover of Josie and the Pussycats number 46 in 1969. She was the very first Black character to appear in Archie comics. After Valerie's inclusion into the trio, the comic grew so popular, the idea of a cartoon television show was pitched. This resulted in the legendary Hanna-Barbera getting into a 3-week standoff with producer Danny Jansen, as the TV moguls wanted to make the character of Valerie a Caucasian woman. Jansen protested the switch and refused to back down, and the company finally relented, making Valerie the very first Black recurring cartoon character in a television show series. The Hardy Boys drummer Pete Jones had been the first Black male to appear on Saturday mornings a year earlier, but Pete's voice was not spoken by an African American. Hanna-Barbera did cast Valerie's speaking voice accordingly, and Danny Jansen cast her singing voice, setting the historic precedent. Josie and the Pussycats was produced for Saturday morning television by Hanna-Barbera Productions, airing on CBS starting in 1970. Valerie was the first positive Black female character in a Saturday morning animated cartoon series. Still, what makes Valerie so important? Valerie Brown of the Pussycats is significant in pop culture for a few reasons. 1. Representation. She is celebrated as one of the first Black characters in mainstream comic books and cartoon series. Her presence serves as an important example of diversity and representation in media, especially during her debut in the late 1960s. 2. Breaking gender stereotypes. Alongside her bandmates Josie and Melody, Valerie challenges traditional gender roles. They are portrayed as talented musicians and perform as an all-female rock band, which was relatively uncommon at the time of their creation. 3. Empowering female characters. The Pussycats, including Valerie, have inspired many fans with their strong and independent personalities. Their stories often depict themes of friendship, empowerment, and pursuing the dreams, which resonates with audiences. 4. Multiple adaptations. The Pussycats gained further recognition through various adaptations such as the 1970s animated television show, the 2001 live-action film, Josie and the Pussycats, and their appearances in the Archie comics. As a member of the group, Valerie helped the group's popularity grow just by her being accepted into the group after replacing former member Pepper. Valerie becoming an addition to the originally all-white girl band, made the Pussycats one of the first girl groups, real or fictional, to be multicultural with members of different ethnicities. Girl groups like the Spice Girls, the Cheetah Girls, the Pussycat Dolls, Danity Kane, Fifth Harmony and the X Factor's Little Mix were to follow their example. The 2004-2007 Comedy Central animated TV series Drawn Together featured a character named Foxy Love, an African-American mystery-solving female musician, who was a direct parody of Valerie. Overall, Valerie Brown's character, as a member of the Pussycats, has had a lasting influence on pop culture by breaking barriers, promoting diversity, and empowering audiences, particularly those longing for more representative characters in media.